the beat.
Welcome to Yes Bitch TV, honey. That's right, I'm back with a very quick recap of Chasing Dallas, Episode 3, Apples and Oranges. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to. If not, at least you watched. That's what I guess it's about at the end of the day. But thank you anyway in advance for sitting with me during this motherfucking testimony that I'm about to give the girls. So basically, we're running into, Reese's event. Um, these bitches, first of all, when someone is having an event, and not just even an event, a gathering or whatever the fuck everyone wants to call a gathering or something an event, like it's some major production or something like that. Child, you just basically had your besties over. Y'all were trying to have a good time, have some cocktails, get drunk, talk some shit and some mess, and, call the go Easter egg hunting, which y'all didn't even get a chance to do. Or maybe you just didn't show the scene, but I thought that would have been kind of cool to see everybody engaged in some kind of game. But, it is what it is. I guess there was just way too much drama and no one really felt all that comfortable to even have a certain type of camaraderie. Because let's be honest, that wasn't even in the atmosphere. If I was a guest, not an actual cast member of the show, I would have probably left. Just because, don't invite me somewhere and all hell just ends up breaking loose. It's just like, first of all, if that was a networking opportunity, you don't know who you may have just offended directly or indirectly. Because sometimes people can, look at Black Ink Crew. Ford got his situation fucked up because of his association with those ghetto ass bitches. So at the end of the day, this translates into the same situation. You don't know who you're around, who may not be with that kind of mess. So I would have been looking for the person that was walking away to go to their car to get the fuck out, because that may have been a person that may have been able to put you in a situation. You know what I'm saying? You just never know who you're going to meet. So always class over trash, girls, okay? But at the end of the day, I do have to respect Tony in a sense, just because when bitches have your name in their mouth, I don't know the whole situation. Obviously, they are talking about beefs that took place off of the show and into social media or their personal friendships or whatever the case may be, and we're not at this point privy to what the fuck that entails and how those things began. So I'm not going to really speak too much and degrade anybody, because I don't know who really is at fault. I don't know. At the end of the day, I guess the show in this sense is designed for us to kind of pick sides, but I really can't pick a side because I need to know how this all started. You know what I'm saying? Bitches go to looking dumb, picking sides, and you don't even really know who started the situation or what may have happened. You know what I'm saying? But that is here, and it is there, and it's every motherfucking where. And I think that's one thing we all need to come to. So, but I do think I have to respect Tony in a sense, just because when you hear your name flying around, or you may know someone that you're no longer friends with, and now they're shading you and talking shit, which is a lot of times what happens. And what sucks, it happens a lot amongst women, and it happens a lot amongst us in our own gay communities. So we do need to be mindful about that kind of shit, because I may not fuck with you no more, but if we were friends at one point, that at that time was very special to me and you. The relationship, the friendship meant something. So just because we're no longer cool like that doesn't make it right for me to go ahead and just bash you and talk shit about you to other people. Because guess what's going to happen is what Tony is presumably doing is checking bitches. I know I did say in my last review that sometimes people are going to talk about you regardless, especially when you can sense the atmosphere. So what's the point of even giving life to those what should be dead situations? Because as soon as you breathe life into something, it's manifested, it's real now, it's in your face, so you have to re-deal with that shit once again. My personality, is much different. But again, this is about reviewing the show and other people's personalities that I see on the show. So I can't really say what I would do in these situations, but me, I pay certain things dust, because sometimes people just want something to talk about because they have nothing else going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? Boring people need excuses to have some type of life, okay? Even if that means throwing their friends under the bus, okay? At the end of the day, everything requires some form of collateral. Sometimes that's your pride. Sometimes that's a close friendship. Sometimes that's doing things you never thought you would do. Okay, sometimes you got to use what you got to get what you want. Huh. But yes, honey, Tony was checking the girls. Mr. Kane, they had a conversation about, I guess a beef they had online. I guess they used to be friends, and now it's just what I was talking about. And again, I can't pick sides, but Mr. Kane, I will respect Tony for saying, can we just step somewhere privately and have this discussion? Because I feel like, again, I respect that because that's a grown people move. That's how I do people too. If I have a problem with you, I don't need everybody else in my business, whether we're being filmed or not. At the end of the day, I think when you have so many onlookers, it creates a distraction in the discussion that you're trying to have. You may end up mixing words by accident and people may take it the wrong way, but because you were distracted by all these other bitches, it makes it harder for you to convey your fucking message the right way. You know what I mean? So basically, Tony was like, girl, can we step over here, step into Light Caroline, step into the motherfucking Light Caroline, because we need to have a conversation about all the fuck shit, and I understand it, because that's the kind of bitch that I am. So, okay, pulls him to the side. Mr. Kane, I kind of do, in a way, like you, because you're not afraid to be yourself. You don't mind being different. But, with the green, that was a little pushing it to be different. But, hey, that's you, baby. That's your style. That's what you like. At least you look like you smell good. You look very clean. I like that. The grunge look may not be me, but I am into it because you own that. And you can tell that's something that is really you. You're not trying to put on for nobody. This is within your personality. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a pass on the loud colors and everything else, because I see that you have a weird sense of fashion, and it actually kind of works in a way. So you do you, boo. But when you start touching people, when you start invading people's space the way that you were with Tony, I'm not gonna lie. If I was in that situation, I would have chopped you in the fucking throat and drug you in the pool, girl, and drowned you with that parachute that you were wearing. Because when you start invading people's personal space, you want to know why bitches start getting loud. But me, I don't even speak when it gets to that point, because once you invade this over here, bitch, it's time to shock and awe that motherfucking ass. And I don't like people invading my personal or touching me. There was no reason for you to touch. Tony didn't touch you at all. Y'all were sitting kind of close. It is what it is. But Tony did not touch you. Don't put your hands on people, because that may, you don't know people where they come from. That may provoke some people. When you get too close, they may think you're trying to do something. And don't blame me for motherfucking, you're going to have to call the doctors, honey. Doctor, because I'm going to fuck you up. Because I don't play that kind of shit. But I respect Tony for at least keeping his composure. And on the side eye, you have Reese. And in this episode, it definitely proved what I said in my first review of the episode 1 and 2, is that Reese is mother, which also means Reese is the one that's going to manufacture, and I have something to say about that too, that is going to manufacture. So I guess this is not going to be a quick recap, because there's something else that came up in my head that I need to talk about with Reese and Tony. But we'll get into that towards the end of the video, okay? You have Reese that steps in and, is like trying to get the tea, but Mr. Kane is not with it. And I respect that too. Just like, oh, can I get y'all a drink? No, you're interrupting the situation. We're trying to come to some resolution here. We know you're trying to get the tea and you want to continue to stir pots, Miss Mother. And that's okay, because we understand that's your role in the show. It's okay, because we understood that from day one, okay? But don't interfere with us trying to have conflict resolution, because at the end of the day, that conflict was never resolved. Just because so many people interjected. And Sister Mary Clarence, Mr. Premier, girl, Sister Mary Clarence, honey, in her confessional, she was giving us Sister Mary Clarence, Miss Nunty's child, with it looked like 1,000 do-rags sewed together and made into a cape, looking like the Black Lord Voldemort, girl. I don't understand what that was. That's neither here nor there, but let's go ahead and throw that outfit in the motherfucking seas, child, because it's no longer needed, required, nor desired. I don't know what that was. You've been dressing cute in all the other scenes, but that confessional with the Sister Mary Clarence, no God, But anyway, I don't know how I feel about him just yet, just because, as we transition to the next scene, I believe, is when he's meeting up with a party planner that are wearing these tree cutting glasses. Fucking tree cutting glasses. Like, you're out here mowing lawns, girl. Like, the sun wasn't even out. That restaurant was blowing some kind of haze dust. I was kind of scared. Like, girl, what is that? Is the place on fire? Is it just that hot out there and in the cold air is turning into motherfucking mist, bitch? I don't know. But I just did not see the need for those glasses. But it is what it is. That's your style. You do what you got to do. He's meeting up, telling the girl no budget. He wants to throw a Hennessy and chicken party, which is kind of cute because too many bitches are trying to be upscale and it's not working. So I'm down for a down to earth kind of kickback situation. Bitches eating chicken, drinking Hennessy, and talking and gaga around the motherfucking situation. I'm here for that. But the no budget part, I would like to know what it is that you do. Because you don't tell a bitch who, I don't know that girl that you were with or her business or what she does, but she's a self-proclaimed, party planner or event planner or whatever the case may be. If she does do a good job, you don't tell a bitch that got good taste. There's no budget because you better have a black card, girl. But then again, we're not here to check nobody's pockets. But if there's no budget for you, you like it, I love it, girl. Hey. Can I get an invitation? No budget. That means you finna pull out all the stops, girl. Frozen swans, all that shit, bitch. I love it. Yes, God. That scene was cute. Again, it's pushing the idea. We're getting a chance to see what people actually do here in this, in this franchise at least. Amen. So we move on from that. I just want to jump really quickly into the whole party at Markel's, honey. Let me tell you, that place was laid for the gods. A couple of questions, but I again, we don't know these people personally. We don't know what they have or what they don't have. Isn't really our job. But at the end of the day, that place was really fucking cute. Very much my style. Very lavish. Very overstated, understated with hints of understatements. I loved every bit of it. I loved it. So she has her gathering, and let's get into Markel really quickly because now we've been opened up to her a lot more on her personal and professional endeavors. I don't call being on Cheaters and being on Bill Cunningham. First of all, those shows are very old, and you look like he was a lot of years younger in those particular shows. I do feel bad that you had to go that route to find out if your man of 7 years was cheating on you. It is what it is, but 9 times out of 10, people just do stuff like that for crazy reasons. I would not be putting my business on situations like that, but you felt like you had to do what you had to do to get answers. Good for you, honey. But I don't really call that a claim to fame, in my opinion. You always in the radio show and everybody else, oh, you might have known me from Cheaters, and girl, it's not like it was it's not like you're on a Real Housewives show or Love and Hip Hop where you have seasons and seasons of reappearances. Like, no, you're on one episode of a show that's aired 1,000 shows in how many years? So I just felt like, you need to come up with something a little more up to date on what it is that you're bringing to the table, professional wise, okay? But obviously you're doing well for yourself, so hey, good for you. Your place is the tea. So Reese, everybody joins. Charles, his 1,000-year-old ass. He say he under 30, girl, but we don't know, girl. We got to pull the receipts on that birth certificate, bitch, and it better not be fabricated, girl. And he said that he doesn't do fish. He doesn't like to be fishy. He doesn't think he attracts fishy people. He grew his beard out because he didn't want to be fishy or whatever the case may be. All of those reasons are stupid as fuck. But hey, that's your truth. You live that shit. If you're comfortable with that, do you, bitch. But that's just you have to look back on the shows and look at your explanations for a lot of the stuff you're giving us reasons for. Doesn't make sense to me, bitch. Okay? But it is what it is. That's your life. Live it. Reese is ready to get down to the tea on why this bitch did not show up to her event. And you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something though. There was a slide put in there thinking that you may like Charles. Let me keep it real with you really quickly. That has to be true because let's be honest here. If you're the Queen Dundada, why are you even paying dust to the fact that this boy didn't show up to your event? Fuck him. You had a lot of people show up. I think it was a great turnout. It may have ended prematurely, but it is what it is. Sometimes you can't get all the good gays together. Sometimes there's going to be some mess being thrown around. But don't be so pressed over people coming to your events. They missed out on it, then fuck them. And the whole time, Charles has this smirk on his face like he knew this conversation was going to happen, and he's lying out of his fucking teeth for his reasons of not showing up. He just didn't want to fucking go. I'd respect real shit any day over some fake-ass bitch beating around the bush. But again, that is what it is. We need the suspense for the show to keep it more entertaining. All right, so all of a sudden, in the midst of their argument, Reese stops this supposed, again, conflict resolution that was never resolved because some more drama that Reese wanted to jump into and stir pots up with was going on across the way between Tony getting into B King, yeah. B King and Honey, and B King was getting the girls together who painted someone orange, and Girl, I don't know. All I want to know is where's Mr. Bubble Butt? Bubble Butt, Bubble Butt. Where is Big Booty Judy, honey? Where is she at? Because I would love to see how her person. That's probably why we haven't seen her, but that one time because the producers realized that hoe got a different type of personality, and that hoe's working out. She probably stump a mud hole in a lot of this fake ass shit. Okay, and a lot of these fake ass bitches. Okay, where is Mr. Bubble Butt, honey? That's what we need to get to because I missed him. Okay, I have missed my man, honey. Yes, God. Okay, yes, God. Anyway. Tony's going off, checking bitches once again. And again, there's a fine line. I do understand. If a bitch got your name in their mouth, you have to check them. Again, like I said in a couple minutes back. But there's a time and there's a place. You're at someone else's home. Call someone up. Let's meet on the side of the block. Let's go catch the 4 for 4 at Wendy's really quickly, bitch. And let's talk outside of our cars while I smoke cigarettes, okay? And drink wine coolers and shit. Let's have these conversations outside of someone's event, outside of someone's home. You're being very disrespectful. I don't care who started it. If someone started something with me, this has happened to me before. I've been in someone else's like house party or event or dinner or whatever the case may be, or in some club, and someone there with the bullshit runs up with the fuck shit, and I have to tell them, hey, we'll deal with this another time because we're in somebody else's situation right now. That's not fair, it's not polite, and it's definitely not motherfucking professional to be doing that at someone else's shit. So again, it's a show. The drama's everywhere, and nowhere is off limits, bitch, I guess, when it comes to reality shit. It is what it is. So I'm done reviewing that. I just want to jump really quickly into Reese and Tony. So I was recently on the live of Tony. He had Reese G on, and basically they were just talking about the show and how Tony is depicted in the show, and how once upon a time, not long ago, Reese G and Tony T were best hoes. Okay, they were best friends, honey. Okay. And not best friends, but they knew each other. Apparently, Tony was staying with Reese G, or whatever the case may be, and then Reese G put him onto the idea of being on the show. And Tony was worried about how he may come off to the show. Let me tell you something really quickly. It is what it is. Damn right it's gonna cost. Welcome to the life of a motherfucking boss. I'm a boss bitch. Boss bitch. You have to take it as it is, bitch. It is what it is. Only you have the power to project what it is that you want to project. But guess what? Why don't you, instead of being worried about how you're depicted on the show, are you being your authentic self? If you are, then don't worry about it. No matter how messy it appears to other people, if you're being your true self, you don't need to worry about how you're being portrayed and how you're being looked at, because you can't edit real shit. You can't edit real personality. You can't edit who you really are at the end of the day. So own it and keep it. If that's who you are, own it. I respect. People don't have to like you to respect you. There's a difference. So if you motherfucking just respect the situation, we gotta like it. And I respect you showing up to these events surrounded by people you know that may not like you. I respect you showing up to do the work. I respect it because you have some people in reality walks life who feel like they don't have to show up to situations just because. They may not want the encounter. They may not want to be, fighting, throwing drinks or whatever the case. But y'all haven't even done that yet. Y'all ain't put y'all hands on nobody yet. I respect that. I respect the fact that it hasn't got out as ratchet as Chasing Atlanta. But then again, we still have many more episodes to go. So I'm not going to judge that off the back just that quickly, okay? But that's all I really wanted to say. And Reese G did keep it real when they were having their conversation, and was just like, something happened with their friendship. I can't continue to tell you that because I really don't know the tea on that shit. But it is what it is. We live, we learn, we grow. Sometimes some people are reasons and some people are seasons, baby. And it just is what it is. And don't take it the hard way. Some people are just meant to be in your life for a certain amount of time, for both y'all to learn lessons from one another. And then it's time for y'all to separate and move on. Don't get mad at that shit. That's just the work of God, because if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's meant to be and it's broken, then it'll always come back around. What did the Hatley say? Yes, God. So that's all I have for today. Went a little longer than I wanted, but thank you for tuning in to Yes Bitch TV. I will put a link in the description for the episode 3. Make sure you check it out. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my shit, bitch, okay? And remember, do you. Don't let no bitch make you feel less than and unworthy, because guess what, bitch? No matter what you think your status is in life, you can do anything, because with God, all things are possible, bitches. You better know it. You better know it. Yes, God, honey. You better fucking